You ever get that gut feeling something ain't right? That was me the moment I spotted a silver Lexus halfway buried in my front yard. It was barely 8 a.m. on a Saturday. I was just enjoying my coffee, trying to soak in a quiet morning, when I saw the tire tracks slicing through my lawn like it was some kind of off-road course. Then came the flood. 3 more cars followed like they were pulling into valet service at a country club. I live on the edge of a gated community called Brookstone Pines. It sounds fancier than it is. 3 years ago, I bought this fixer-upper farmhouse on the edge of a hill. Not for the charm, though, it had some, but for the private road that snakes a quarter-mile up to my house. Here's the kicker. That paved road. It's mine. It's the only way in or out of the neighborhood. Now, technically, it's an easement road. I let the HOA use it because of a signed agreement. But just because I gave them access doesn't mean they own the place. Someone should have told that to Cynthia Holloway, the HOA presidentaire, as she likes to call herself, Director of Community Affairs. Cynthia rolls up in a white Escalade and hops out like she owns the place. Clipboard, sunglasses, stiff blazer, and that permanent tone of fake concern. You can't block the event parking. She snaps, gesturing to the chaos in my yard. This space is reserved for the spring mixer. I raise an eyebrow. You mean my front yard? You were emailed. She insists. I tell her the truth. I don't read HOA emails unless I need help falling asleep. Meanwhile, guys are unloading folding chairs from a U-Haul, setting up tables, and someone's inflating a bounce house next to my garage. A DJ booth shows up with a generator and extension cords running across my gravel path like vines in a jungle. You didn't ask. You didn't get permission. You just decided to throw a party on my land, I say, trying to keep my voice calm. Cynthia smirks, flipping her clipboard like it's a badge. Don't be so uptight, Mason. It's for the community. I glance at the kid who just trampled my porch with muddy shoes and knocked over my coffee mug. You want to use my land? You ask. Otherwise, when this party ends tonight, those cars are going to find a locked gate and a very long walk home. She scoffs. You wouldn't dare. Try me, I said. She storms off, probably to round up reinforcements or maybe to call someone who thinks they matter. But what she forgot or chose to ignore was that the easement agreement she signed when she became president had a clause. If there's property damage or unauthorized use, I can revoke it immediately. And after seeing the oil leaks, trampled flower beds, and bounce house blocking my garage, I had all the proof I needed. I spent the rest of the day inside, pulling up the original easement contract, taking photos, and checking public filings. That's when I found it, a zoning document the HOA submitted 2 years ago. They had drawn a dotted line across my front yard, labeling it Community Green Space. The plan was denied, but the map stayed in their files. That meant they were still using it to justify events and budgets and worse. They never told me. I called my lawyer. Brianna. She read through everything and said, "You've got them. If they used your property like that without permission, it's not just trespass. It's fraud." By sundown, the DJ was blasting top 40 hits. The lawn was a landfill, and I had a stack of printed evidence. When HOA Vice President Allen wandered over, holding a plate of chicken skewers, he smiled and said, "Thanks for letting us use the space." "Did Cynthia tell you this land belongs to the HOA?" I asked. He blinked. "Well, she said it was common use." "It's not. It's mine. And the agreement's been revoked. Effective tomorrow morning." The smile dropped off his face. "But that's the only access road." "Yep. And now you'll have to negotiate. And it won't be free." Monday morning, just after 9, I met Deputy Ward at the gate, alongside a guy from the county zoning office. I handed them my revocation notice and the evidence packet. Photos, camera stills, copies of the fraudulent map. The zoning officer whistled when he saw it. "They redrew your property line. That's municipal fraud." Ward asked if I wanted to press charges. "Absolutely," I said. We locked the gate, posted the notice, and waited. By 2 p.m., Cynthia came barreling down the hill in a black BMW. She shoved a petition in my face, 100 signatures demanding I reinstate access. I didn't even look at it. "This isn't a democracy," I told her. "It's a deed. You can't vote away private property." She threatened a lawsuit, said they'd argue for implied easement due to historical use. I told her every day of access had been documented, and they broke the deal. End of story. Then, like some Netflix twist, a black sedan with government plates pulls up. A state attorney and investigator walk out. They ask for me. I hand them the file I prepared. Wire fraud, misappropriation, maybe insurance fraud too, the attorney muttered, flipping through the pages. "You'll be hearing from us." By the end of the week, the HOA clubhouse was shut down. Deborah disappeared. Turns out, over $70,000 had been funneled into a fake landscaping company tied to her brother-in-law. A new board was appointed. The vice president, now acting president, came to my porch with an auditor and asked to negotiate access legally, with compensation, oversight, and written terms. I agreed under one condition. Every resident gets notified in writing that the land and road are private. No exceptions. The following weekend, the new fob gate system was installed. The bounce houses, gone. The DJ booth, history. What replaced it was silence and respect. A week later, I attended a zoning board meeting out of curiosity. They thanked me for exposing the abuse. Even passed a new rule: No HOA can file a zoning request without proof of ownership and signed consent from the landowner. I walked out of there with no intention of being a hero. I just wanted my lawn back. But sometimes, standing your ground becomes something bigger. So, what do you think? Was I right to shut them down? Or did I go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about HOA power, private property, and where the line really is.